I think what is nice to see is you have young firms also like this one here from Scandinavia. On the one hand, they're doing kind of experimental pavilions, smaller structures to enhance their repertoire, and then in some of the buildings, they manage to translate that experimental work into a convincing larger structure.
Mm-hmm.
But
they've
you
also
see this parallelism sometimes of experimental structures and kind of more pedestrian initial buildings, and then but we see where they want to go. With more original, mature work, and sometimes they reach that point already early in their careers.
But they've also used they've investigated timber really in a very successful way.
There were two quite strong common themes. One was the materiality of the projects that we've selected. We've chosen people who clearly have a strong understanding of materials and true to materials, etc. And the second thing is this contextualism that you spoke of. That nearly all of the projects are very rooted in their sites. In fact, when you look at them, lots of the offices have very diverse, different projects within the submission. And the offices which
there's a kind of versatility in light-footedness in navigating different contexts, different clients, different programs with a kind of rich repertoire, not a one-liner.
Yeah, but I think that's very important. If they're going to have an impact in the future, they need to be able to turn their hand to a variety of approaches, and that I think does suggest a real architectural skill, isn't it? Not to just always do the same thing.
I agree, but I think the two that perhaps don't follow that line and are a bit more direct in their style, as the bamboo architecture, which is exploring lots of different approaches to using bamboo as a material. But it is just bamboo. But I think that's fantastic because that's such an available material, and to demonstrate its range of uses in such an interesting way is great. And the other one is Kerry architecture, but just merely for the fact that they are exploring interesting architecture that responds to the environment in an area where architecture is so often ignored. I forgot a piece that's certainly deserving of recognition.
In my view anyway, some emerging stars, young firms who have been strong on the level of theoretical projects and publications and lectures and written projections now coming out with their first projects. I think it's very promising. Some of them are still in the highly commended category with respect to what we're seeing, but I think there's a lot of promise. So.
Hopefully this year's highly commended is next year's winner.